The 1983 NFL season swept into the Houston Astrodome last Sunday on a full head of steam, and the Green Bay Packers were propelled into action by quarterback Lynn Dickey, who completed his first 18 passes, including a scoring strike to Paul Kaufman, number 82. While the Packers are known for aerial dynamics, the Oilers usually have trouble navigating high altitudes. But Archie Manning got Houston airborne with one of his finest passing displays in years. Manning and number 83 Tim Smith combined for a 47-yard touchdown. But Dickey responded with 3 second-quarter scoring throws, 2 of them to John Jefferson, number 83. The Oilers countered this high-tech, high-flying assault with some old-fashioned ground warfare in the person of number 34, Earl Campbell. Campbell rushed for over 100 yards and tied the game at 31-31 with his third touchdown of the day. But with 3 minutes remaining, Dickey once again took advantage of Houston's inexperienced secondary. The result was his 5th touchdown pass of the game. While number 80, James Lofton's 74-yard catch and run broke the tie, it failed to break the Oilers' spirit. They even matters at 38 apiece to send the game into overtime. But in the extra period, Jan Stenerud's field goal ended this frenetic contest. The new season swept into Houston on a full head of steam, all right, but when the smoke finally cleared, Green Bay emerged with a 41-38 win. At Cleveland, Browns coach Sam Ratigliano had a lot on his mind. His quarterback, Brian Sipe, was the AFC Player of the Year 3 seasons ago, then lost his magic. But last weekend, Sipe almost made a Minnesota lead disappear by throwing 3 touchdown passes. One of them a 6-yarder by a very determined Mike Pruitt, number 43. But the Vikings negated Sipe's sorcery with their own bag of tricks, including a spellbinding 40-yard reverse by wide receiver Terry LeCount, number 80. Actually, the Vikings were more methodical than magical, and their method was simple. Get the ball to versatile Ted Brown, number 23, who accounted for 3 touchdowns in Minnesota's 27-21 victory. Brown is a workhorse back with a nose for the end zone, a quality shared by San Francisco's offseason acquisition, Wendell Tyler, number 26. Tyler electrified a capacity hometown crowd with a 32-yard scoring run against Philadelphia. The 49ers defense was led by Rover Fred Dean, number 74, who lined up at left end to thwart Philadelphia's running game. Dean further confounded the Eagles by playing linebacker and right end, where he produced one of 4 first-half 49er sacks. This sack put Ron Jaworski out of the game, but in the second half, backup Joe Pisarcik directed the Birds to 19 unanswered points. When the Niners were also forced to rely on their understudy signal caller, seldom used Guy Benjamin hit tight end Earl Cooper, number 49, for a 75-yard score that cut the Eagles' lead to 5. Joe Montana eventually returned to set the stage for some last-minute dramatics, but Wendell Tyler couldn't handle the most crucial of props. In Instead of converting a 4th and 1, the Niners made their third turnover and added a few more gray hairs to Bill Walsh's distinguished mane. But when the Eagles incredibly turned over the ball while trying to run out the clock, the Niners seemingly produced a miracle finish when number 87 Dwight Clark scored on a Benjamin pass with 11 seconds left to play. But for San Francisco, this was a day for mistakes, not miracles. A holding penalty nullified the touchdown, and the 1981 world champions suffered a 22-17 defeat that demonstrated that the 49ers' own worst enemy is the 49ers. Unimpressed with the Broncos' million-dollar rookie, the Steelers' defense saw to it that John Elway's NFL debut was anything but spectacular. Before leaving the game with a bruised elbow, Elway was sacked 4 times, completed only 1 of 8 passes, and threw a drive-ending interception. Trailing 10-7 in the final quarter, backup Steve DeBerg was justly rewarded for his saintly patience with Elway mania. With the help of a perfectly executed play fake, DeBerg had plenty of time to find Ron Egloff, number 85, for the game-winning touchdown. DeBerg's performance raised a question about quarterbacks and money that has been looming in Tampa Bay ever since the Bucs let Doug Williams get away to the USFL. The team saved thousands of dollars by not meeting Williams' contract demands. However, the lack of a suitable replacement began costing the Buccaneers in the season opener against Detroit. The immobility of the Tampa Bay signal callers resulted in a field day for the Lion defense, who registered 7 sacks and a safety in Detroit's 11-0 win. The opening game of a new season never arrives soon enough for a Super Bowl loser. For 7 long months, the Miami Dolphins have been a faceless team lurking in the shadows cast over them by the Washington Redskins. Against Buffalo, the Killer Bees were anxious to regain some of the respect John Riggins had stripped from them. Miami defense shut out the Bills while Uwe von Schauman's accurate instep provided 4 field goals in a 12-0 win. The win was Coach Don Shula's 215th career victory, which is 215 more than these 2 rookie NFL head coaches. Last Sunday, Ram coach John Robinson and the Giants' Bill Parcells were both hungry for their first win. But it was a bloodthirsty Los Angeles defense that went out and hunted it down. Leading the pack was defensive end Jack Youngblood, number 85, a good old boy who leaves his shotgun in his pickup on Sundays because he prefers hunting down quarterbacks with his bare hands. Youngblood and the rest of the defense's ability to adjust so quickly to their new 3-4 alignment was unexpected, the effectiveness of the Ram offense was no surprise at all. Against the highly publicized Giants defense, quarterback Vince Ferragamo threw for 279 yards and 2 scores, both to tight end Mike Barber, number 86. The 16-6 win gave the Rams their first opening day victory in 6 years and left Coach Robinson only 214 career wins behind Shula. After a promising preseason, hopes were high for Frank Kush and the Baltimore Colts at their opener in New England. But their hopes seemed dashed when Steve Grogan of the Patriots came out throwing, hitting on 2 long touchdown passes in the first half, one to Stanley Morgan and the other to Stephen Starring, number 81. It appeared the Colts were destined to write the same winless scenario once again. Apparent fumble recovery and touchdown run by defensive back Larry Anderson was ruled a lateral, which can be recovered but not advanced. This play was a vivid reminder of the Colts' frustrations the year before, when mishaps of ill fortune all too often frowned upon Frank Kush. The persistent Colts dug in. Led by the outside pursuit of number 56 Vernon Maxwell, Baltimore sacked Grogan 7 times. And a pesky passing combination of Mike Pagel and Bernard Henry pecked away at the Patriot lead with 2 touchdowns. With the final seconds ticking away, rookie place kicker Raul Allegre connected from 33 yards out, tying the score at 23. Moments later, a mere 30 seconds into overtime, Vernon Maxwell took the matter into his own hands, jarring the ball from the fingers of Tony Collins into the arms of Johnny Cooks. A play that finally delivered Frank Kush from his winless despair. Dog days of despair seem to have disappeared for a spell in New Orleans, where even a first-quarter injury to Ken Stabler couldn't keep a Saint named George from answering his fans' prayers for victory. George Rogers' 2 touchdowns, one a 76-yarder, and team record 206 yards rushing provided a heavenly sent inspiration to the New Orleans Saints' 28-17 triumph over the St. Louis Cardinals. Sweet may be just the word the Seattle Seahawks have for their number 1 draft pick, Kurt Warner from Penn State, who rushed and received for 165 yards in his debut. But despite Warner's dazzling offensive display, the Seahawks went down to a 17-13 defeat, their 8th opening day loss in their 8-year history. Gerald Thomas's option pass was the clinching touchdown as the Kansas City Chiefs won by discovering some new plays in their new playbook, designed by their new mentor, John McAvey, who for at least a week is undefeated as a head coach in the NFL. Beginning his 9th NFL season, Chicago's Walter Payton has a stronger supporting cast, and the Bears are suddenly contenders in the NFC Central. Still, number 34 is asked to carry most of the offensive load. As usual, Payton responds with his familiar style, a mixture of grace and grit. The Atlanta Falcons have a fair country running back themselves in William Andrews, number 31. The versatile Andrews totaled 138 yards on the day, and his first touchdown of 1983 put Atlanta on top, 6-0. The lead was short-lived as Chicago's Jim McMahon spotted Ken Marjoram with a scoring pass that helped the Bears build a 10-6 halftime lead. Falcon quarterback Steve Bartkowski then got together with a pair of veteran wide receivers and went to work on the Bears' revamped secondary. First, there was Alfred Jackson, whose catch at the Chicago 1-yard line set up a Gerald Riggs touchdown. After the Bears responded with a short score of their own, Bartkowski struck back with the fourth-quarter game winner. The target was Alfred Jenkins, number 84, and his 21-yard scoring catch earned the Falcons a come-from-behind victory. Meanwhile, Walter Payton earned a wealth of respect from the opposition with 199 total yards. Payton appeared to take the loss with a smile, but the only drawback to being a good sport is that you have to lose to be one. Falcons 20, Bears 17. The LA Raiders never pictured themselves as good losers and avenged their only regular season loss of 1982. The outclassed Bengals wound up tipping their hat to the Raider pass rush. Raider end Lyle Alzado was never fooled by Cincinnati's play fakes. When the Bengal offensive line flowed one way, Alzado stood fast and buried Ken Anderson for one of 4 Raider sacks. Despite completing 74% of his passes, Cincinnati's Anderson didn't find the end zone until the final period. It was way too little, far too late. M.L. Harris's score was the only bright spot in the Bengals' 20-10 loss. It was hardly a close call for the Raiders, a perennial AFC power. But the class of the AFC may well be the New York Jets, who uncovered yet another dynamic running back, rookie Johnny Hector, number 34. Hector carried the ball but once against the Chargers, good for 42 yards. Then a seasoned veteran took over. Third-year runner Freeman McNeil's third-period touchdown put the Jets ahead 20-10. It was a lead the New Yorkers never relinquished, despite the acrobatic efforts of yet another brilliant San Diego receiver, Bobby Duckworth, number 82. Running an almost identical pattern, Duckworth again embarrassed the New York secondary, this time for 6 points. But the Chargers never got closer than that, and when Jet quarterback Richard Todd hit Freeman McNeil with a game-clinching touchdown, the Jets had their first opening day win since 1977. On the NFL's first Sunday of the '83 season, only 2 home teams were winners, and the Jets' 41-29 ambush of San Diego became Joe Walton's first win ever as an NFL head coach.